Grandfather loved the salt marshes. That is my poem today. I am Maxwell C. Jr. Poets like to use their whole name. I got the idea for this from the main character in a lovely novel about the Long Island marshes, Sea Coal Fire, by Alonzo Gibbs, a wonderful Long Island writer who is not too well known now. The character's name is Oi Shadboat. Oi Shadboat lives on the marshes in an old bay house, and two teenagers come over often to see him, and he shows them around our Long Island salt marshes, takes them out around in a boat. And of course there's a story and there's adventure. But that is where the idea came for this grandfather character. And I do refer to a book in here, Hymns of the Marshes by Sidney Lanier, a Southern poet. And you will get here in this poem an explanation about the salt marshes. Kind of a teaching poem. Grandfather loved the salt marshes. "Look at those marshes," he'd call, rowing me in his dinghy among mainland and island marshes. "They're prairies in the great South Bay." He'd push his straw hat back over white hair trailing toward his shoulders. He was always bringing out his old-fashioned looking book covered in dark green, Hymns of the Marshes, poems by the 19th century poet Sidney Lanier, poems about the southern marshes of Glynn. Carefully turning the pages, Grandfather would read a favorite passage. "Ye marshes, how candid and simple, and nothing withholding and free, ye publish yourselves to the sky and offer yourselves to the sea." "Look," Grandfather would call, waving his long hand over the horizon. "All that grass is just two grasses. Salt marsh grass and cord grass." He enjoyed saying those names. "That's the salt marsh grass," and he pushed the boat near shore. "It grows on the edges, hardly gets up to a boy's knees. In August, farmers came with scythes. They came haying, and do you know why? As if I hadn't heard 1,000 times. The salt marsh grass was fodder for the cows. It looks all whirled around, I like saying, like tiny tornadoes had passed over it. That's 'cause the stems are easily bent, and it's soft, and you can lie on it. Rowing a creek through the marsh, he'd point to thickly stalked stands. "That's the cord grass. It is taller than a growing boy. Look how it spreads into the bay. Look how it crowds the banks above all those blue mussels." He'd pull out his book with pages ready to fall out. "Listen to this. The world lies east. How ample the marsh and the sea and the sky. A league and a league of marsh grass stretched leisurely off in a pleasant plain to the terminal blue of the main. Yes, Grandfather would say, the salt marshes reach out to the sea from the black muck where so much grows. Mud snails, moon snails, marine worms, mama chubs. They're nurseries for striped bass, for the snappers that come in August, the baby bluefish that one day will migrate the Atlantic from Florida to Maine. In October, he really loved to point to the grasses. Now you see what the salt marshes are. They're gold, he'd shout to people fishing from nearby boats. The salt marshes are gold. Thank you.